Hey Mike, do you have any other local stories?
Yeah, it seems like now that summer's here and everything, that they're starting to come in. Um, I was contacted by a fellow up in Boulder Creek that I've heard from in the past. He's had quite a few little encounters. Now, this man works over in Silicon Valley, but he also telecommutes quite a bit, so he works at home. And he's a computer geek, so he's always on his laptop working in the wee hours of the night. And told me he'd been hearing screams for quite some time off in the distance, and he assumed they were coyotes and didn't pay much attention. And then one night he was awakened in the middle of the night, literally thrown out of bed by this absolutely tremendous howl. And he said this thing must sound like it was about 75 feet from his house, and it was just the biggest scream he'd ever heard. And he said it was definitely not a coyote. And so he started getting more interested and paying more attention. He had occasion to hear something playing with his garbage can one night. He could hear it lifting the lid, and it sounded like it was shaking the can. And he went out and took a look, and by the time he got the light up and out, the thing had left. And there were hash marks on the hill right next to the garbage can that looked like something had gone up the hill very quickly to get away. And he said that the raccoons up in that area, they're pretty used to people, and he says when he runs out and tries to scare a raccoon away from the garbage can, they don't run up the hill. What they do is they run under the car and hide there and wait for him to go back inside and go back about their business. So he said he doesn't think that the hash marks were made by a raccoon or anything like that. It was a much bigger thing. And he's also reported hearing the sounds of teeth clacking, teeth popping, and he said that one night it sounded like there were two animals no more than 30 feet from his bedroom window that apparently were popping their teeth back and forth at each other. And he said they seemed to be moving their lips and modulating the tonality. So we went up there once and actually cast a footprint, but it was a very faint print. It was in really hard-packed dirt with just a little layer of silt on top, and so the track only impressed in the tiny layer of silt. And when we poured the plaster on it, there was so little indentation that footprint is virtually useless as proof of anything. But it did seem to indicate that something had come through there, and there was even the possibility that there had been two of them, one bigger than the other one. And he had the distinct impression that he was dealing with a mom and a young Bigfoot. And so the other night when he contacted us, he said something and got back in his garbage, and once again he didn't think it was a raccoon because when he tried to shine a light on it, once again whatever it was went up the side of this hill. And he said that the garbage can, things had been taken out of it, and apparently he had wadded up some paper and put it in the can, and the can had been nearly emptied, and something reached in and took the wad of paper out and set it aside, like as if it was just putting it out of the way temporarily so it could reach in and get something else. Because when he went out to check it out, here was this wad of paper that had been neatly set next to the garbage can. And he just got the feeling that this wasn't the work of raccoons. Of course, he could be totally imagining that, but he happens to live near a creek, and this creek goes off into the woods, into what is a pretty large, undeveloped area. There is a little bit of a state park that has been established on some of the land near his home. You drive an eighth of a mile up the road that he lives on, which is in a fairly dense neighborhood, and then you're into open woods. And there are houses on the road that are more widely scattered from that point, and just a couple of houses, but you can drive another 20 miles into deep woods above his home. So it does look like a very likely spot where these things could be hiding in the denser woods and then coming down into the neighborhoods at night to forage. So we're going to be up there checking that out again soon.